right, guys. Happy Tuesday. We are moving right along in the one and only Ivan. Yesterday, I scheduled way too many chapters for us, so we're going to finish up the chapters that we didn't get to yesterday, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up this little section of part 3, and tomorrow we're going to have a different activity. So for today, we are going to pick up kind of right where we left off. So remember, previously what we've been reading is that Ivan and Ruby are there's no longer people coming to the mall. There seems to be people from the zoo. They're trying to train Ruby to go into a box. And we found out that Julia and Mac were fired. And this is all good, but all of the animals are going, not just Ruby. And Bob was worried, and I'm sorry, not Bob. Ivan was worried about Bob and what about him. Now, Julia said to her dad that maybe Bob could come live with them, but Bob was like, I don't have a job right now. I don't even know if I could feed you, let alone a dog. So we're going to have to see what happens. So we're going to start up with chapter Click. I'm going to read Click, the idea, and respect back to back to back today. Click. The door to my cage is propped open. I can't stop staring at it. My door open. The giant box has been moved, and it's open too. The humans have pushed it up against my doorway. If I walk through my door, I enter their box. The zoo lady, whose name is Maya, is here again. Click, yogurt raisin. Click, tiny marshmallow. Click, ripe papaya. Click, apple slice. Hour after hour, click after click. I look over at Ruby. She waits to see what I will do. I touch the box. I sniff the dark interior where a ripe mango awaits. Click, click, click. I have to do it. Ruby is watching me from behind the bars of her cage, and this box is the way out. I step inside. An idea. After I leave the box and step back into my cage, I get an idea. A good one. I tell Bob he can sneak into my box and live with me at the zoo. Have you forgotten? I'm a wild beast, Ivan, he says, sniffing the food for crumbs. I am untamed, undaunted. Bob samples a piece of celery and spits it out. Besides, they'd notice. Humans are dumb, but they're not that dumb. Respect. Ivan, Ruby says, do you think the other elephants will like me? I think they'll love you, Ruby. You'll be part of their family. Do you think the other gorillas will like you? Ruby asks. I'm a silverback, Ruby, a leader. I pull back my shoulders and I hold my head high. They don't have to like me. They have to respect me. Even as I tell her this, I wonder if I can ever command their respect. I haven't had much practice being a real gorilla, much less a silverback. Do you think the other elephants will know any jokes? If they don't, I tell her, you can teach them. Ruby flaps her ears. She flicks her tail. You know what, Ivan? What? I ask. I think I'm going to go in the box tomorrow. I gaze at her fondly. I think that's a good idea, and I think Stella would have agreed. Do you think other elephants will know how to play tag? I love tag. Me too, I say, and I think of my nimble sister racing through the brush, always just out of my reach. All right, guys. So our questions for these 3 chapters are, why does Ivan make the decision he does? Why does Ivan decide to go into the box during the chapter Click? During an idea, do you think Ivan's idea would work, or is Bob right? So would Bob be able to hide out in his box and sneak off with him? Or do you think Bob is right and that the humans would notice? And then explain to me. This is an opinion question, guys. And then respect. Do you think Ivan really believes all he says about living with the other gorillas? Explain. So another opinion question. Do you think that Ivan really believes that it doesn't matter if the other gorillas like him, they just need to respect him? Or do you think deep down he really wants them to like him too? Go ahead, pause this video if you need to finish those questions. We're going to go ahead and we're going to read chapter photo. Photo. Late at night, Mac opens my cage. The full moon falls on his sagging shoulders. He seems smaller somehow. Bob, instantly alert, leaps off my stomach and dives under knot tag. Don't bother hiding, dog, Mac says. I know you sleep in here. Mac settles onto my tire swing. Might as well stay one more night. Your buddy's leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow? My stomach drops. I'm not ready. I need more time. I haven't said my goodbyes. I haven't thought this through. Mac pulls a small photo out of his shirt pocket. It's me when I was young. Mac and I are in the front of his convertible. I'm wearing a baseball cap and eating an ice cream cone. I was a handsome lad, but I have to admit I look ridiculous. Nothing like a real gorilla. We had some laughs, didn't we, Guy? Mac says. Remember when we went on that roller coaster? The time I tried to teach you to play basketball? Mac shakes his head, chuckling. You had a lousy jump shot. He stands, sighs, looks around. He puts the photo back in his pocket. I'm gonna miss you, Ivan, he says. And then he leaves. He doesn't look back. All right, so why do you think Mac seems smaller? Why do you think Mac seems smaller? What did you learn about Mac's sadness while reading this chapter? How do you feel about Mac after reading this chapter? All right, guys, we have one more chapter. I'm going to read it all the way through, and we'll discuss our questions. Leaving. Early in the morning, Maya arrives with many other humans. Some have white coats. Some have rustling papers. They are hushed, busy, determined. Ruby enters her box first. I'm scared, Ivan, she calls from inside the box. I don't want to leave you. Part of me doesn't want her to leave either, but I know I can't tell her that. Think of all the amazing stories you can share with your new family, I say. Ruby falls silent. I'll tell them your elephant joke, she says after a long pause. The one about the refrigerator. I bet they'd like that. And be sure to tell them about Bob and Julia and me. I clear my throat. And Stella. I'll remember everyone, Ruby says, especially you. Before I can say more, they roll her cage out to a waiting truck. It's my turn. Bob is hiding in a corner behind my pool. The humans don't even notice him. While they're busy making sure my box is ready, Bob sneaks over. He licks my chin, just in case there are any leftovers. You, I whisper, are the one and only Bob. I reach for Not Tag. She's a limp rag without her stuffing. Dribbles of paint cover her fur. I hold her out to Bob. He tilts his head, confused. To help you sleep, I say. Bob takes her in his teeth and slips away. Okay, guys. Why can't Ivan tell Ruby he doesn't want her to leave? What's he worried that she's going to do? Opinion question here, guys. Do you really think Bob was looking for leftovers when he licked at Ivan's chin? Opinion question. Opinion question. Why do you think Ivan offered not tag to Bob? And finally, our last opinion question. What do you think will happen to Bob? All right, guys, we have two more questions or two more chapters to read. So we're going to go ahead and read those. Remember to pause this if you need time to answer the rest of your questions. Good boy. Good, Ivan. Good boy, Maya says when I lumber into my box. I hear the clicker and I'm rewarded with a tiny marshmallow. When I'm settled, Maya gives me a sweet drink that tastes of mango and something bitter. My eyelids grow heavy. I want to see what happens next, but I'm so sleepy. I dream I'm with Tag and we're swinging from vines while Stella watches. The sun slices through the thick ceiling of trees and the breeze tastes like fruit. Moving. My eyes flutter open. The box is moving. I am in the grumbling belly of some great beast. I fall back asleep. All right, guys. What happened to Ivan? What did Maya give him in the mango juice? Moving. Do you think that Ivan will be happy in his new home? That's an opinion question, guys. All right, my friends. That is everything for right now. Here's what you guys are going to work on now that we finished reading our chapters. We are going to be writing a short character essay on Mac tomorrow. So for the remainder of the period today, if you want to go ahead and work with some staff members, you may just sign into their help desks. Please make a list of all the things that you liked about Mac or the positive things, and make a list of all the things you did not like, the negative. So I know some of us do not have a great opinion on Mac, but remember, there were definitely things that Mac did that there were other circumstances driving his actions. And part of what we're doing with this book is we're working on our inferencing skills. So what were some of those things that Mac did because he felt he had to do them, right? That might have been negative. And what were some things that Mac did that showed us that he wasn't a horrible guy, he just wasn't a great guy, right? So list your positives and the negatives. Tomorrow, what you guys are going to do is you guys are going to write your character essay. All right, that's everything I have for you guys today. Have a great day, guys.